Welcome back to Sunday Night in America. It has been said war cannot be waged by air alone. Is that still true? Let's ask a former fighter pilot who represents Texas in Congress, August Pfluger. Welcome, Congressman. And first of all, thank you for your service to our country. Take us inside a cockpit. What are these bombing missions like?
Well, Trey, thanks for having me. A huge shout out to our forces, to our airmen, to Secretary Hegseth, General Raisin Kane for the professionalism that they displayed. These missions are incredibly difficult to fly, and with the precision that you saw last night. 125 aircraft, minimal communications, joining up at a point in the sky, and then carrying out a mission over hostile territory. I've been there. I've been in combat situations. I know many of these airmen that actually flew these missions last night, especially the F-22 pilots like I flew. But you're facing a variety of unknowns. Timing, just think about you and your wife trying to meet up in Paris at a restaurant. 7:30 reservations, plus or minus a minute. Don't be early, don't be late. But you have 125 other guests that also have that same thing without cell phones. So the difficulty starts with just getting to the right place at the right time, and then you have to carry out the mission. So proud of what the B-2 was able to do to truly devastate Iran's nuclear capability. The F-22 and the other aircraft sweeping the area to make sure that there were no enemy fighters, that there were no surface-to-air threats. And when you think about this, the technology that we have is second to none. We, as Congress, funded the military decades ago to get to this point to offer the president the opportunity and the option to be able to use these weapon systems to degrade their nuclear capability. So the biggest shout out tonight goes to President Trump. He has raised the stock of our deterrent level across the world by an order of magnitude of 10x, 50x. It's just incredible what he was able to do to use these weapon systems to do something that had to be a tremendously hard call for him to make, but then to see the success rate and to use air power. And I can't speak enough about air power, that the deterrence of the United States of America has rested on air power for many decades. And once again, we see that not a single shot was fired at these airplanes. And we brought everybody back home. But we need to continue to invest in air power. And I hope that maybe in this reconciliation package, we can double the funding that the Air Force and the Space Force need to continue to make these investments, to have deterrence for what the fight looks like tomorrow, and who knows what that is.
Congressman, you mentioned the bravery of our soldiers. It also leads me to conclude, if Iran is going to retaliate, where it would hurt us the most, it might be against our men and women in uniform, particularly on that side of the world. What would you be looking for in terms of a response or retaliation, or is Iran so degraded it can't fight back?
Well, there certainly is indicators and warnings that they will have some sort of retaliation, and I think everyone in the region is on high alert. And I trust Secretary Hegseth, the President of the United States. His number one mission is to keep them safe. So they're going to follow the procedures. They are going to make sure that they stay safe. But I think we've degraded Iran. And what I hope is that whatever their retaliation is, that we meet that with full force. And the president has levied a warning to them about what that could look like.
All right, Congressman, you gave us kind of a glimpse of what the cockpit is like. Meeting a spouse for dinner, you lost me at that one. I couldn't even do that. But while you're also dodging things that may be coming in, what are you on the lookout for as a fighter pilot? What can do you harm?
Well, as an F-22 pilot, I mean, the number one thing that we were designed for was to protect the B-2, protect the strike package, protect those that were going to be dropping the weapons against the enemy. In this case, the B-2 dropping those penetrating weapons against those nuclear facilities. So we were on the lookout to make sure that no enemy fighters were going to try to shoot them down. We were on the lookout to alert those bombers that if there's a surface threat, that they can evade one direction or the other. So our job was to always place ourselves in between the bombers and the threat that was trying to get to those bombers.
Well, Congressman, thank you once again. I know you serve the country currently, but thank you especially for your service in a previous life and for joining us on a really important Sunday night.
Trey, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Take care. Coming up, will Iran continue to be a pariah, or will it